podcast. Let's do it. All right, here it is, guys. Welcome. Glad to have you here. Chaotic day for me. I don't know how yours has been. My son's graduating from high school, and his graduation party is this weekend. And my wife is working, and I'm getting ready to start a job on Monday, and I'm basically taking care of everything. Okay, and so it's chaos. You know, power washing everything, cleaning up everything, steam cleaning carpets and all that. Yeah, it's been a little chaotic. Anyway, I'm glad you guys joined me. Thank you for joining me tonight. We've got a lot of things we're going to get to. We're going to get to some interesting stuff. Talk a little bit about the Middle East. Going to talk a little bit about North Korea. Going to talk a little bit about Cheesecake Factory. Going to talk a little about Debbie Wasserman Schultz. We're going to talk a little bit about professional golfers being threatened by their wives. An NAACP president fabricated a story that he was racially profiled by a police officer. And the new trailer. Have you seen the new trailer? Oh, my Lord in heaven. Have you seen the trailer for Bohemian Rhapsody, the Queen biopic? Or is it biopic? Oh, Remy. What's his name? Remy, I forgot his last name. The embodiment of Freddie Mercury, who, by the way, is the greatest rock vocalist of all time. Robert Plant was second, by the way. So anyway, welcome to the show. Glad to have you. You'll notice up here, these designs, if you are watching, tpublic.com, Conservaties, these are all my and a guy named Sam Cangelosi's designs. You can have this stuff put on onesies and T-shirts and mugs and all sorts of stuff. These are all our original politically incorrect designs. We're starting to move these things, and I'll tell you what, there's like a 30% discount on everything right now on tpublic.com. So check out the stuff. I mean, there's some really cool stuff. Let me make it a little bigger so you can see it a little better. Let me see if I can make it a little bigger. But it's wonderful stuff. It is politically incorrect. There we are. Deep State Farm, collusion insurance. That's good. Uranium One, making Russia great again with Hillary Clinton's drunk pick on it. Sometimes war is the answer. You soldiers know that. Veganism is an eating disorder. These are all good. All right? And there's a bunch of stuff that's not, you can't coexist when someone will kill you. Anyway, all of these are available on a variety of different things. TEEpublic.com, and look for Conservaties. So, Hamas official on Wednesday acknowledged that 50 of the 62 Palestinians reportedly killed during Gaza border riots on Monday and Tuesday were members of the Islamist terror group, which is great. We're murdering the crap out of my loving man. That is so, and we're not murdering them. We're just killing them. You know, there's a difference between murder and all that stuff. But these are people who are being paid by Hamas. And I heard my buddy Chris Plant today talking on his show. I believe that if you're a Hamas member and you get shot or injured while you are protesting like this, you get $300, which is big money over there in the 7th century hellhole, And I believe if you get injured severely, you get $500. And then if you die, your family gets $3,000. And that's like winning the friggin' lottery, man. That's like winning the lottery. So great. Bye. Goodbye, bitches. You want to do this? You want to get on the border? You want to hurl Molotov cocktails? All of that? You mindless monkeys from 7th century hellhole? Do it. Bang, bang. We got snipers on the other side. I love it. Israel, come on. And they say they're protesting the move to Jerusalem of the U.S. Embassy, whatnot. They're always looking for an excuse to riot. They're always looking for an excuse to go after Israel because they just can't get the burr out of their asses with regard to Israel having a territory 70 years into it, and they can't deal with it. And a lot of things, there are a lot of similarities between the envy and hatred of Israel by the Middle East countries and Hamas and what's going on in America's inner cities with people and on college campuses. The haves and have-nots, and they blame the haves for their problems. They blame the haves for their problems, and now they're blaming white people for the problems. Get to a story from Evergreen State. They haven't given up Evergreen State. Evergreen State is going to go down in flames. And I mean financially. not physically. Evergreen State University. But there are a lot of similarities, you know. There's a lot of hatred and resentment in America's inner cities of Asian people because they move into really bad crime areas and they make money. They open businesses. They cater to the crowd that is there, and there are people who are there that absolutely resent it. Absolutely resent it. The same thing is going on in the Middle East when Palestinians look at Israel from their territory. And I've seen this, you know, and I've said this before. Israel is the geographical equivalent of a fingernail clipping. And you look at Israel and what the Jewish people have done for Israel. It is a diamond in the desert. It is a jewel in the middle of desolation. If you look at satellite photos of Israel, it's an oasis. It's a green paradise because people there are focused on survival of their people, bettering of the life of their people, rather than sitting on the other side of the wall and resenting and hating and resenting and hating, instead of going, you know, let's use our human resources and make our place into a garden. Make our place into a Garden of Eden. No, we'd rather hate the Jews. We'd rather hate the Jews. That's what it's all about, man. That's what it's all about. All right. Let's see. Oh, a prominent Iranian cleric on Friday threatened 2 Israeli cities with destruction if the Jewish state acts foolishly and attacks its interests again, while thousands of protesters demonstrated against Donald Trump's withdrawal from the Iranian nuclear deal, blah, 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 blah. His remarks drew death to America for those gathered for Friday prayers. The death to America thing. Dear Jesus, God in heaven, will you just get over yourselves, you freaking hateful douchebags from hell? Just honestly, 7th century mindless monkeys from hell. That's what they are. Yeah, and I don't apologize for that. These people are throwbacks. They are throwbacks. They treat their women like crap. They do honor killings. I don't even know where to go with these mindless morons. Dragging a culture and country back to the 7th century. Honestly. North Korea is saying that they're going to cancel the nuclear summit with Trump because of an operation exercise between South Korea and the United States called Max Thunder. I like that, Max Thunder. Sounds like a superhero. Max Thunder. So they're saying that North Korea is saying the United States will also have to undertake careful deliberations about the fate of the planned North U.S. Summit in light of the provocative military ruckus. They use the word ruckus. Jointly conducted with the South Korean authorities. Whatever. You know, Kim Jong, buddy, mess with us. Come on, brother. You want to mess with us? You got a little nuclear button and it doesn't work. You want to mess with us? I was talking to my buddy Dylan Parentis, who is an Instagram phenom yesterday, if you saw the episode yesterday. And, I was saying, well, maybe Donald Trump's bloviating, and it's not really bloviating. There's something behind it, namely the largest nuclear arsenal in the history of mankind and the most powerful military in the history of mankind. But he said that Kim Jong-un was playing us. Well, I disagreed, and now I kind of go, maybe he was. Hello, Kathy. Hello, Gina. Hello, Alan. How are you guys? Good to see you guys. Gina, you're outside doing yard work and listening to me. Well, hey, I'm talking to you right now, baby. How's that sound? Debbie Wasserman Schultz, oh, dear Lord in heaven, told the Huffington Post the NRA is just shy of a terrorist organization. You know what? Is this inflammatory bullcrap? Honestly. I'm just so tired of hearing this crap. I'm an NRA member. I'm not near to being a terrorist. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. This is what the left does. Schultz says the NRA is just kind of shy of a terrorist organization. They haven't done everything they can to perpetuate the culture of violence that we have in our country with the spread of assault weapons across the nation. People are dying as a result of the infection that is spread as assault weapons, thanks to the NRA, are being murdered in cold blood without cessation or interest on the part of the NRA to do anything about it. You just are such a complete, I can't say it. Can't say it. Most people are killed by handguns. There are a lot of people killed by knives and baseball bats. Unbelievable. According to the FBI, there were approximately 374 people shot and killed with rifles of any kind in 2016. A fraction of those were due to assault weapons. 1,604 people were killed with knives or cutting instruments. Knife banning. If you go into Bed Bath & Beyond, all right, you want to get yourself some Wusthof Trident knives, a 7-day waiting period. Background check. Baseball bat, same thing. You want to go into Academy Sports or Dick's Sporting Goods or whatever, you ought to do the same thing. Cheesecake Factory says it suspended workers involved in an incident with a black customer reportedly was subject to verbal abuse by restaurant staff. I'll bet, and I'm just going to say, they probably black people. Because they saw this guy, a black guy, walking in, Eugene or Joseph, 22 years old, dining with his girlfriend, Cheesecake Factory in Miami, wearing a MAGA hat. One woman encouraged her co-workers to confront Joseph. About a dozen Cheesecake employees surrounded his table. Multiple witnesses told the conservative news site. And I'm going to tell you, I'll bet they were black people. Sorry, you cannot stray off the ideological plantation with regard to black people. You cannot be anything but a leftist Democrat. You cannot support anyone but the cadre of Democrat candidates or presidents. That's just it. You cannot wear a MAGA hat and be a black person. You can't do it. I'll bet you dimes to dollars. Yeah, I know I used a cliche. One employee tried to scare Joseph by standing behind him, balling his fists and smacking his fists. When he exited the restaurant, the employees clapped and yelled and they screamed at him. Upon learning of the incident, the Cheesecake Factory apologized, said the individuals in the incident have been suspended pending the results of our investigation. Honestly, you know what? Just get your ass into the kitchen and get me my 5,000-calorie plate of fettuccine Alfredo with 800 grams of fat that you sell off your 50-page effing menu. And get your, I might add, get your fat asses into the kitchen, okay? You know, Cheesecake Factory, it's just okay. People like Cheesecake Factory because it's giant food. I mean, it's just giant food. We had a Cheesecake Factory near the radio station I worked at when I was in Washington, D.C. I didn't go to the Cheesecake Factory. I'd order maybe an appetizer. But they got a 50-page menu. It's stupid. Listen, I like having giant entrees. Maybe I've moved beyond that in my life. I don't need to eat a gigantic plate of whatever. A few years ago, I learned that, you know, I could have friends over for giant ribeye steaks. But you don't get the whole steak. You get this. I'm going to slice it thin. You know, make it pretty. And I'm going to put 6 or 8 slices on your plate, and I'm going to fan them out beautifully. Medium rare. But you don't need to eat the whole damn steak. And consequently, when you're at Cheesecake Factory, you don't need a bowl of pasta that is as big as, you know, a basketball hoop. You don't need it. Jeez. Well, I've got some audio that I want to get to and some video I want to get to. You guys who are listening to episode 275 of the Rob Carson Show podcast, you won't be able to see it, but you'll be able to hear it. You will be able to hear it. Oh, I've got a couple of funny videos. I've got a guy I have a guy, and if you're listening on the podcast, I apologize. Go to my YouTube channel at Rob Carson, just YouTube, and then go to Rob Carson. Or LibertyOneTV.com, LibertyOneTV.com. Get to LibertyOneTV.com, become a member. It's $4 a month. When you see this guy on this ride with his girlfriend, he becomes frozen with fear. It is the It's amazing. I've got that, and I've got the new trailer for the Queen movie that you've got to see. Dear Lord in heaven, you've got to see this thing. It's absolutely incredible. Absolutely incredible. All right. Oh, all right. This is interesting. Man identified as the president of the Timmonsville, South Carolina NAACP said that he was racially profiled by a police officer. Body cam provided by the police department contradicts those things. The Reverend Jared Moultrie, whose Facebook page says he is still the chapter's president, posted on April 13 he was racially biased or profiled. This guy was a complete douche. Police officer is great. Apparently, this the Reverend purchased a new car, still had the tags from the car that he just got. And the officer was completely polite. And this guy called the police department, said that the police officer was trying to, the police officer thought he had some drugs or something, okay, because he was in a different neighborhood. Guess I can't be a pastor and drive a Mercedes-Benz and driving around a nice neighborhood. Well, they turned over the video. Here is the video, and you guys who are listening, here's the audio of the police officer after he went to his car, being incredibly polite to this guy, and listen to the demeanor and the courteousness of this officer. Here he comes to the car.
All right, Mr. Bolger, here you go, okay? Registration. Try not to drive the car no more until you get the proper documentation, because this registration has to come back to 1992, okay, GMC truck. Yes, yeah. Even in the system as that too, but what I'm saying, you got to have the proper registration and everything.
So basically, he was driving a Caddy, but the registration was still, and the plates were still for the truck that was traded in for this vehicle. And he needs to get the proper documentation.
And insurance and all that stuff to actually indicate that plate comes back to this motor vehicle, okay? Because when I run...
Man, he is being racially profiled. I mean, did you hear the nightstick hitting this guy in the head?
Plate is still coming back to this. It's not coming back to your car.
Okay, I understand that, but look, I just bought the car the other day. I switched the tags.
Well, you probably need to go to the DMV and ask them how come it's not registered on the state side.
Hold on. Did he just get hit with pepper mace?
The Department of Motor Vehicles is still coming back to that truck.
I understand that, but this is what I'm telling you.
Mm-hmm.
I switched the tags from the truck to the car.
Yes,
they told me at DMV, the dealer put that on there to show that the tag's going to be transferred.
Was that a chokehold? Hold on. He can barely breathe.
Right.
And all I need to do is keep this registration in there and this bill of sale.
They told you wrong. You got to have the proper documentation.
They told you wrong.
In your motor vehicle that actually matches the car that you're operating on South Carolina highways in order for it to operate.
Did he just call him boy? Did that cop just call him boy?
On South Carolina highways. They told you wrong, okay?
Listen.
All right. Other than that, there's your driver's license. Just make sure you wear your seatbelt at all times while operating the motor vehicle on South Carolina highways and drive safe, okay?
Drive safe, okay? Wow. What a racist. What a white supremacist. And this douchebag called the police department. He was gonna get this guy in trouble. What an incredible a pastor of all things. You're a pastor of all things, and you do this. You incredible douche. Honestly, wow. I don't even know what to say. Oh, this is the latest. You know, the whole cultural appropriation thing. Had a girl go to prom. She decided to wear an Asian dress. She's a white girl a couple weeks ago. That was cultural appropriation. Took all sorts of heat for that. Which I said, well, if that's the case, then you know what? F it. We can't go to Chinese restaurants for white people. Oh, wait a minute. And if you're a Chinese person, you can't go to an Indian restaurant because that's cultural appropriation. And wait, hold on. You Chinese people can't go to Italian restaurants. You can't be eating lasagna. That is cultural appropriation, people. What the hell are you thinking? That honestly, let's take it. Let's do this. You want to dance? Let's do this dance. You want to do this dance about cultural appropriation? Fine. African Americans, you can't wear cowboy hats. How about that? You can't wear cowboy boots. How about that? You want to play? Do you want to play? Cultural appropriation. So effing stupid. It's cultural appreciation. That's what it's about. It's cultural appreciation. And you douchebags on the left who continue to ride this train, you want to go there? Let's make it ugly. Let's make it ugly. Canadian University under fire this week for allowing a white professor to teach a course on Native Canadian history. Okay. We cannot have black people teach Shakespeare. We can't. We cannot have Indian professors teach Freudian psychology. You can't do it. You can't do it. You cannot have a Native American person talking about European history. You can only teach about the native tribes of the USA. And if you are a Canadian Native American, you can only talk about the native tribes. If you're talking about history, that's all you can talk about. You cannot talk about the history of the Middle East. You cannot talk about the history of wherever. You can't do it. Oh, yeah. And you can't order Chinese food. You morons. The course is specifically about controversial Canadian boarding schools that were attended by Indigenous children. Wow, that sounds interesting. Wow, you're going to do a lot with that major. Was assigned to a white professor, Martha Walls, who has an extensive expertise in the course subject matter. I know it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. She doesn't have the DNA. Despite the qualifications, Mount St. Vincent University received a flurry of criticisms for allowing a white professor to teach a course. This is racism 101. This is radical leftist racism 101. Rebecca Thomas, a Mi'kmaq community activist, argued that Native Canadian people, also known as Indigenous Canadians, are studied like they are an artifact of the past, though they are still thriving in modern Canada. There is this perpetuation that non-Indigenous people have the right and expertise to speak on Indigenous topics, when in reality they experience the lived experience of what it's like to be a product of these systems within Canada. There's no better voice than the first voice. You know what? There are a lot of dumbasses who are, white people who have no qualifications to teach effing college history. Okay? You moron. You effing moron. Honestly, you are so beyond stupid. I always say that you need a certain amount of intelligence just to run your autonomic breathing system. I'm surprised this woman has not suffocated already. Oh, we get taught about and studied as though we are gone, but we're still here. This is Rebecca Thomas. Sounds like a Native American or a Native Canadian. People shouldn't see Indigenous people telling their own stories as exotic or novelty. We're authorizing our own stories now, and that sadly is very new, but needs to be normalized. So that is the everyday occurrence. Hey, dumbass, how about this? How about somebody who is intelligent, somebody who is educated, somebody who has spent years in school to learn this crap, and maybe you invite a Native Canadian in as a guest speaker, because they aren't qualified. They aren't qualified to speak, all right? You go into Ireland, okay, and there's an Irish university, and you want to teach Irish history. You can grab somebody out the street, or would you rather have maybe an English guy who has been studying Irish history for his entire life, got a degree in it, and just decided to come in and teach? What do you want? You want the dumbass off the street? Now, let's just say it. Honestly, Native Canadians could be dumbasses. God, these people are so effing just stupid. Stupid. Gina's laughing. Hello, Gina. If you guys want to comment, or give me some love. Where are the likes? Where are the hearts? Where are the love? Where's the love? I mean, I'm on the air. I'm reaching a lot of people. Give me some love, people. Give me some love. And share. Share, if you would, do that. I would be greatly appreciated. Okay. Evergreen State College. Remember this? Last year they hosted an event. They asked white people not to come on campus for the day of absence. Normally what they do is they have the black people leave the campus. They decided to say, we really actually want you white people to leave. There was one liberal professor who no longer works there, Brett Weinstein. He got death threats. The university was held hostage. The chancellor of the university was held hostage by these radical idiots. Evergreen State has lost 10% of its enrollment. They're closing down dormitories. The operating budget, 10% down. Having to raise student fees. Think that made any difference? Nope. University doesn't endorse the day of absence anymore, so the students are doing it. 3-day day of absence. A mix of events on and off campus. Some gatherings are advertised as open to all skin colors, and others ask that only POC or people of color attend. What if I get a tan? George Hamilton, is he welcome? He's a person of color. Donald Trump's a person of color. It's orange, College Fix doing the story. They do a great job. No whites allowed. Self-segregation events will be held off campus. It asked people to RSVP at a website that spells out no Nazis allowed, even though there are no Nazis on this campus. The event launches today and through Friday. Oh, and this year's observance is deinstitutionalize and decolonize. You idiots, you academic, moronic children who have no life experience. Oh, my Lord in heaven. The mission of this event is to bring POC together, people of color. Not POS. It's completely different. In order to create a reclamation of space and move forward into the future, this is academic mental masturbation. In reaction to institutions' consistent disregard for our safety, you douchebags, you are so effing safe. You're little snowflakes on campus. The only thing you're afraid of, the only safety you're concerned about is safety that somebody who might disagree with you might hear their opinions. That's what you consider to be safety. That's why you need a safe space, you little punk. You've created this racial crisis that doesn't exist because you need some reason to think you are worth anything. That's what this is about. Martin Luther King used to get the snot beat out of him and ultimately was shot in the head or the throat. A lot of people were beaten. A lot of people suffered during the civil rights struggle. You are doing nothing. You are going to an exclusive little college called Evergreen State, and you need to create some sort of crisis for you and your ilk. Because mommy and daddy made you ride a bike helmet everywhere. And you couldn't be out of eyeshot in the neighborhood, and you certainly couldn't stay out until sundown. And you got a participation trophy. But you need to feel like you're a victim. You need to feel like you're fighting against the man, against white supremacy, which doesn't exist on campus, and Nazis, which don't exist on campus. You little punk asses. There are kids on campus who will fake being assaulted because they need some sort of sympathy. They need some sort of feeling that they're a victim. I don't know what exactly the pathos is. I'm not exactly sure what exactly the disorder is, but it exists on campus. But this is getting dangerous. This is getting dangerous because I am a victim. I am a victim. I'm a victim. I'm a victim. And now we have a group of people to blame, like the Palestinians blaming the Jews. It's the same thing. White supremacy, white privilege. Keeping me down. So we make the white people leave campus. Oh, man. This is priceless stuff. I hope you're sharing this because, and I know Gina is, because I think this monologue's going pretty kick-ass, actually. The mission of this event is to bring together POC color, that's people of color, together in order to create a reclamation of space and move forward into the future. In reaction to the institution's consistent disregard for our safety. I already said that. Stupid. In addition to POC, not POS, centered events, there will be anti-racist workshops for white folks and people who do not identify as POC. Please bring a dish or your own packed luncheon dishes. Now, make sure you don't bring like food that's outside of your ethnic group. That's obviously cultural appropriation. Brett Weinstein said, "This is fascinating on many levels. The college canceled day of absence, so the students are doing it. You know what I'd do?